Hey, this is Jay with Illumin Reiki Academy coming to you with another Reiki Crystal Healing Insight. Today I want to talk to you about creating sacred space for Reiki Crystal Healing sessions. A Reiki Crystal Healing session begins, long before the client ever arrives and before the crystals are placed and before the practitioner's hands move into the energy field. But it does begin with us, the practitioner. When I prepare for a Reiki crystal healing session, my first step is to use Reiki to recognize and create myself as sacred space. I am sacred space, especially when I'm doing and helping to facilitate Reiki. This is important because the practitioner is not separate from the healing environment. And the room environment matters as well. The table matters, the crystals matter, and the type of music that you use makes a difference. But the practitioner's presence is one of the first sacred spaces the client encounters. Music helps me to relax, soften my thoughts, and get in tune with the Reiki frequencies. It helps me to move out of the activity of the day and into the quiet presence needed for a session. This preparation is not about performance, it's not creating a beautiful scene just for appearance. It is about preparing ourselves, the room, the crystals, and the client for a beautifully divine work. For an in person Reiki crystal healing session, I like to have a treatment table already and a selection of crystals nearby. And these are crystals that may have want to be involved in the session. And if I'm facilitating a remote Reiki crystal healing session, I still prepare sacred space. I may play meditation music, have the crystals nearby, invite Reiki, and allow the healing field to form. One of the important things students learn in my classes is to learn to listen. Learn to listen to which crystal wants to participate in the healing session. We are not just plopping a crystal down on our client as if we're just turning on a switch. We need to remember that this is sacred work, very sacred work. We are introducing the frequencies of Reiki and the crystals, frequencies, and energies into the client's energy field with reverence and care. Some crystals may want to help, some will always want to help, others may only show up when they're only specifically needed. And some crystals may not be placed on or near the client at all, but they simply hold space and they may serve as witnesses to that healing. I had a large amethyst that would often want to be moved from location to location in my healing space, depending on where the work was taking place. And she could be really quite insistent. And she taught me to listen more deeply and not assume that I knew where every crystal belonged. I also remember one particular session where I had plenty of time to prepare myself, the room and the crystals. And I meditated with many of the crystals and energetically shared my client's healing need with them. And several of the crystals seemed to ignite with joy to help. Yes, because, yep, we're willing to help. And then I had some of the crystals that seemed to recommend another crystal that had been tucked away in a drawer. And I found that crystal and went through the drawers and found it and meditated with it. And it just felt so loving, so gentle. And that was a feeling I had not felt with that crystal before. And it was glad to help with that facilitating that session. And that crystal ended up being the one crystal that my client held during the session. And the warm wisdom and healing she received with the assistance of that crystal was just undeniable. So that experience reminded me that the sacred space is not just a room, it is a living field of Reiki, crystal consciousness, earth wisdom, divine guidance, and pure love. At the same time, sacred space can be simple. More is not always better. Sometimes a few small crystals chosen with clarity and intuition can support a very powerful session. We are preparing for divine work, not for entertainment. And consent is also essential. The client should always know how crystals may be used, and they should feel comfortable with that practice. And as practitioners, we need to explain what we are doing and ask about their comfort level. We also need to get consent from the crystals to be able to be used. So Reiki remains the foundation for the work that we do. Crystals support that space, and the practitioner's job is to listen. A sacred Reiki crystal healing space is created when we allow ourselves to merge collectively with the divine consciousness of the crystals, the intuition and guidance of Reiki, and the honoring of our divine nature. So thank you so much for enjoying this and joining me for this Reiki Crystal Healing Insight. If you're interested in learning more about Reiki Crystal Healing, please visit us at illuminreikiacademy.com. I send you many blessings and healing through Reiki and hope you have a beautiful day. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye.